Three people who were arrested in connection with the theft at President Cyril Ramaphosa's Phala Phala farm, Phala Phala Wildlife Reserve in Limpopo, will be back in the Bela-Bela Magistrate Court today. The court is set to hand down judgment on the applications of two of the three suspects who are facing several charges in connection with the theft that took place in February 2020. Let's now bring in SABC News reporter Phimani Baloyi. Phimani, good morning. Thank you so much for making time for us. Tell us about the interest that there is in this case before we deal with the matter that the judge will be dealing with this morning.
Good morning, Eldrin. As you mentioned, there is a large interest in this matter from your media interests. We've seen media houses flocking in, but we've also seen members of the South African Police Services working very hard to be present in the court precinct to ensure that everybody that is here is secured. But Eldrin, load shedding just kicked in here at the Bela-Bela Magistrate Court. According to the schedule, it's supposed to be in from now 9 o'clock until 11, and we've heard off the record from court officials that once load shedding kicks in, court has to be suspended. Chances are that court appearance will only start at 11. As you were stating, Aldrin, today we expect judgment on the bail application of Miss Floriana Joseph alongside her brother Didinasho, who applied for bail last week. Both stated that they are not flight risk and that they've been cooperating with law enforcement since they heard about this matter. But the state also stated that because of the fact that they have been cooperating, they will not be opposing bail. So we expect the magistrate to walk in at around 11 and deliver that judgment. But the third suspect on the matter, Mr. Emanuela David, is also expected to now start his bail application. That is, if his lawyer will be present here. Aldrin?
Okay. Tell us about the case that the state has brought against the three suspects and how the state is linking them to that break-in of February 2020.
So, Aldrin, there are essentially three main cases that all of them have been charged with. The first one is conspiracy to break into a building and commit theft. The second one is that breaking into that facility. Third one is theft, this theft of $580,000 US. So what the state is saying is that all the three accused are facing this charge, but Mr. David faces a fourth charge of money laundering. How they're saying is that Miss Floriana David worked at that farm at the time as a domestic worker, and that she got her brother, Mr. Ndinasho, alongside Mr. David to break into that facility. At first, they conspired to commit this crime, and then they broke in. That's when they stole the money. So the connection is that Miss Floriana worked at the farm. She got her brother and Mr. David, whom they say have been linked to each other. So at this point, the state says it has a strong case, it has proper evidence against all of them. But when applying for bail, the Joseph siblings said they know nothing about the matter. They are confident that by the end of this entire process, they will be acquitted. Aldrin?
Yep. And we know, of course, there's also the political side of this story, Phimani. And one of the questions that have been raised consistently is in that the complaint that was brought by the former Correctional Services Commissioner was that over, I think, about $5 or $6 million, $4 million rather, that he said that was stolen on the president's farm. Is it the state's case, though, that it was only $550,000 US that was on the farm and all of that money was actually stolen?
On the charge sheet, Aldrin, there's only $580,000 US stolen. If there was any other amount, the state is not bringing in the case. But there have been media reports surrounding the lifestyle, specifically of one of the accused, Mr. Emanuela David, that show that he was living a lavish life. He had diamonds and there were vehicles that are said to be expensive. So the state is not bringing such matters. They're only dealing with $580 US, which, if you were to do a calculation at the time, amounted to about 10 million rands.